who am I? You know, who am I to the people? You know, I have a kid now, like I said before. Honestly, it's just that fatherhood time. You know, I haven't yet spent much more time with my son as I would want to. And he'll understand that as he gets older. If I can see, like, how can I change and how can I give my son more knowledge rather than luxury things, then I'm gonna do that. My father, though, is the one that really, he knows me best. He's seen me at my worst, he's seen me at my best, you know, and he's gonna be the one that definitely is gonna tell me the things that I really need to focus on how can I beat this guy. I trust him with my life.
Before the roar of the crowd, the real battle has already started. It doesn't happen under spotlights or inside ropes, but in the unseen moments where confidence is challenged and routines are broken down. Two fighters, each with their own tempo, advancing toward the same night from different paths.
I just want everyone to see that, you know, my father didn't become trainer of the year just by luck. You know, in 2020, you know, we beat the most decorated fighter pound for pound during that time, Vasily Lomachenko. That was from him. You know, he told me how the game plan had to go.
And he'll push him and he'll freaking just try dogging him. But he's trained for that. He's trained to keep on doing that every round. So when he spars, I tell him, okay, you could box. Yeah. You could box, but what's gonna happen when you can't box no more? You get tired of it and you feel that guy's weight.
Yeah.
Punch your body, go on top, and then you go on top. Good. Go. That head. Concentrate. You're doing things I can almost never do.
Lopez has long lived in that uneasy middle ground where self-assurance edges into rebellion, where confidence isn't fueled by applause, but forged through skepticism. He's never needed perfect conditions to thrive. More often than not, disorder is what pulls his sharpest self to the surface. That's what makes his build-up for Shakur Stevenson so compelling.
A lot of the times, you know, I didn't want to go into the gym. I didn't, you know, especially when I had to swim. You know, that was painful. But it was the training, the work ethics that you have to put in between the miles of running and the depths of how you have to sacrifice your whole body in this. You know, a lot of people don't understand, even to this day, how much we have to really do, how much we beat up our body.
So when he comes here, go to the body. When he comes here, go to the body. Esa! Oh, beautiful. He can't touch it, champ. He can't touch it.
This time, the chaos hasn't pulled him off course, it's sharpened his focus. Away from the spotlight, Teofimo's camp has centered on refining the areas that don't depend on raw emotion, managing range, maintaining discipline between bursts, and bringing structure to moments that once relied on instinct.
You know who that is, right?
Like, really looking.
My father put me in with the top guys, professional fighters at like 12, 13 years old. You know, and that was something that I really enjoyed the most because it was hard. I would cry, I would run away, I didn't like it. I would tell him like, you know, this is not for me, I want to quit. And he would just, nope, no, you could do this. My father would flip it around sometimes and say, okay, you want to quit, we'll quit. And literally, I would stop for maybe a day or two and bug him, be like, hey, I want to go back in the gym. So I believe we had this connection, obviously, since birth.
The focus isn't raw strength or quick bursts anymore. It's patience, precision, and the awareness that against someone like Shakur, opportunities are limited. This camp carries a sense of responsibility, less energy spent playing to the crowd, more spent answering hard questions internally. Every workout circles back to one idea: can Teofimo stay dangerous when the pace drops?
Camp, you gotta be serious and stuff. Yeah, that's to get focused on the fight, but gotta make it a fun camp. So, right now, I'm gonna blow my dad's ear.
In the study of ancient America. But it was wrong.
Cover me.
The old notion has been completely overturned. Fossilized human footprints have been found in the New Mexican desert.
I don't feel good, bro. Why you do that to me, bro? And you film that too, man? You better erase that
He understands that frustration is Shakur's advantage. So the focus now is restraint, applying pressure without forcing action. This isn't a version of Teofimo hunting highlights. It's a fighter working to dictate the moment. And that's when he's at his most dangerous.
It's important to take breaks in between camps, or even in camp. We're so focused at what's at task that we end up forgetting to have fun. We have a long week of training. Let's reward ourselves for that.
On the opposite side stands Shakur Stevenson, a fighter who's never depended on chaos to find his edge. Discipline has always been where he's most comfortable.
Today we're doing sparring breakfast. So we're gonna do a little mixed potato hash with some chicken, sausage, and some protein pancakes and some ancient grain sourdough. Ready's ready.
Too mean, too slow. Too slow. Get out the way. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. If I'm Zach, I'm gonna keep walking to you and over there. He gotta catch me. It's only 3 runs.
Yeah, 10 ready. We need to refresh today. Bring the smoke, baby.
That dude ain't going in here. Going right for
Yep, that's fine. July 12th, demolishment. We're gonna demolish it. Guys way too slow. Score's too sharp, too fast, too strong.
Where Teofimo sharpens himself by learning restraint, Shakur does it by stripping things down. His preparation for this fight has been calm, methodical, almost surgical, centered on repetition, clarity, and making clean decisions under fatigue. This isn't a camp about transformation. It's about precision. Every session reinforces the qualities that already make him elite: control of space, balance, timing, and the ability to remain mentally untouched regardless of the chaos around him.
There we go, there we go. Left 15, all the way down.
Tweaking today.
Yeah, that's that prep. That's what you already been doing?
Yeah.
They got it.
Let me see that.
That's good.
I feel great. Sprints kind of be getting me right, get my conditioning right. Sometimes in a fight could turn into a sprint.
Shakur prepares as if disruption is inevitable. He expects momentum swings, sudden bursts from Teofimo, and the crowd pulling at the fight. The focus is staying grounded through all of it. He doesn't rush time, chase reactions, or mistake movement for control. Everything is about efficiency, closing doors, creating errors, and avoiding unnecessary exchanges. He understands this fight won't be decided by emotion or output, but in the quiet gaps where position beats power and patience outlasts impulse. His camp reflects that clarity. He isn't here to prove anything. He's here to carry out a plan.
Coming up, I heard you was the one that wanted to fight, right?
Yeah. I actually set this fight up. And I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Tio is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level. And I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough set, so I'm ready.
Who were some of the other options you had?
Lamar Roach.
That would have been a real good fight, man. But I mean, Tio, he's a bigger name, though, so I see why you went with him.
Yeah, bigger name, and also he got the more accolades. He's been undisputed before. He's won belts at 35, won belts at 30, at 40. So he's more accomplished. So I know that would be a better name on my record.
While Shakur works in quiet precision, Teofimo Lopez reveals something just as telling in his own way. He speaks like someone who truly believes territory matters. Listening to this interview, it doesn't sound like he's trying to sell us anything. It sounds like he's reinforcing something internally. This isn't empty bravado. It's ownership. When he says Shakur can't take what he's sacrificed for, that's not promotion, it's identity. And there's a self-awareness to it that stands out. The talk about video games, the references to Roy Jones Jr., the study of fighters like Roy Jones Jr. and Henry Armstrong, it all points to something deeper than ego. This camp feels driven by curiosity. Teofimo knows athleticism alone won't be enough against Shakur Stevenson. So he's searching for layers, deception, feints, disrupted timing, the kind of details that don't make highlights, but quietly steal rounds.
I think at certain points in your career, right, you have to realize that you don't know everything, right? And sometimes you have those, like the likes of Roy Jones Jr., who was arguably the best fighter in the 90s, even the early 2000s, and for him to want to, help me in some sense, maybe there's something that I'm not possibly there yet with that he could possibly add to my arsenal, and I would love to see more. I would love to learn more. That's like some type of mentor.
I respect that he admits he doesn't have all the answers. It shows growth, not weakness. When he talks about mindset, faith, and destiny, you hear how much this fight matters to his legacy. He's not trying to out-talk Shakur, he's trying to out-believe him. Even his thoughts on Shakur being called boring are sharp. He doesn't reject it, he leans into it and says, "That's exactly why I'm here to shake things up." That's Teofimo in a nutshell. He doesn't avoid narratives, he confronts them. While Shakur is honing control in quiet, Teofimo is sharpening conviction in the chaos, studying, adapting, convincing himself that preparation plus belief equals dominance. Whether you agree or not, you can't deny the focus. He's locked in, not scattered. That's a dangerous version of Teofimo Lopez stepping into this fight.
Like seeing him now kind of face to face, when you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think, I don't think too much of it. I think that he believes in himself, that's one thing, but I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this, and I'm not taking nothing from him, but I just believe that what's gonna happen next is for destiny in the boxing ring.
After hearing Teofimo speak with that mix of conviction, reflection, and personal ownership, the conversation takes a turn when Shane Mosley weighs in. It's like a veteran tapping the chessboard and saying, "Let's be real." When Mosley calls this matchup a true 50-50ths, it's not indecision, it's respect for the danger both fighters bring. I love his perspective. It's not about hype or records. It's a single question: who asserts control first? That's the real tension. On one side, Shakur seeks a quiet, measured, controlled fight, round by round, dimming the lights. On the other, Teofimo can flip the switch, turning angles, speed, and power into complete disruption. Mosley's reminder that Teofimo can actually box is important because casual fans sometimes forget this isn't a reckless brawler. This is a fighter who solved Lomachenko in real time, a rare accomplishment that speaks to skill, not luck.
I think you're going to need a couple of rounds, but the first round is going to be very interesting. Maybe you see some tails, but I think maybe 2 or 3 you're going to start seeing one leave the other. Because I don't think that, well, maybe, I mean, Shakur might show some different, if he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen or different type of fighting we haven't seen. And vice versa, you know, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle that is kind of giving, you know, Shakur Stevenson trouble. We'll see.
And here's the jump in weight class we've been waiting for, veteran-level insight. No panic, no assumptions. It's just about observing how the speed translates when the fighters meet in the ring. I also appreciate how Shane takes his time before picking a favorite. He frames the opening rounds as a kind of scouting mission. By round 2 or 3, though, you can already see whose style is leaving a mark. Either Shakur quietly begins to control space and timing, or Te'o lands those unconventional shots that throw your whole strategy off. The funniest part is mostly casually brushing off predictions, like, "I'm just watching." And that perfectly captures the vibe here. You're not analyzing to feel clever, you're analyzing to see how razor-thin the edges are. This isn't about stats or appearances. It's about who can force the other fighter out of their comfort zone. And when a legend admits he's grabbing popcorn instead of keeping score, you know something interesting is about to unfold. Get ready, this fight is going to expose the real story.
I think people overlook of Teofimo is he can box when he wants to. Like, he's shown he has a slick style too when he wants to do that.
When he wants to do that. So if you have a slick style and you got power and you got the speed too, and you're fighting at 140, so let's see, I don't know if Shakur Stevenson is going to get slower moving up in weight or not, where Teofimo can hit him. Maybe he was really fast at 130, 26-30, maybe 35, but 40, you put on a little bit more weight. I think that he holds the weight probably really, really good, but you just don't know.
Right out of the gate, Shane mostly breaks it down like a seasoned pro who's witnessed every kind of chaos a boxing ring can throw at you. Then Wade Plemons steps in and shifts the perspective just enough to make you sit up and pay attention. Suddenly, it's not just about clashing styles, it's about timing, intent, and the sport finally delivering something meaningful. Listening to this, you realize boxing has been craving this. 2 top-tier fighters still in their prime, not waiting around for years, not dodging tough matchups, actually signing the fight when it counts. Wade's enthusiasm feels real. It's clear he sees this as a fight that matters, not just an entertaining matchup. This isn't about flashy knockouts or viral moments. It's about mastery. Shakur isn't here to impress the casual fans, he's here to control distance, timing, and mindset. Teofimo isn't just trying to survive each round, he's here to validate his confidence and show it's not just talk. I love how Wade highlights the element of self-belief, and a little delusion, on both sides, because that's often the unspoken truth. Elite fighters need to think they're untouchable, even when reality says otherwise. Shakur sees Te'o as overconfident, while Te'o thinks Shakur hasn't faced his reality yet. And that tension? That's what makes this matchup work. When 2 fighters believe they're the ultimate challenge, the ring becomes the ultimate judge. It doesn't lie, it clarifies everything.
If Teofimo's delusional, Shakur has that same delusion. It's what propels both of them to the highest degree. Now, here was them facing off a couple of months ago, I think, at this point. And this is what I was talking about. Shakur is, in stature, the bigger guy, which is crazy because he fights at the lower weight. He is a bit more skinny, obviously, but now he's coming up to 140, and it feels like Teofimo Lopez can't go much bigger than 140. Like, I've heard him talk about going to 147. That would be the highest I would think Teo should go, but here's their face-off.
Real quick, Izzy, you should be in the middle. I know I'm the...
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
He going to smile.
Like, these dudes don't hate each other, and you don't necessarily have to. There are certain fights where that level of venom is needed.
What really makes Wade's breakdown hit home is how grounded it is. Even with all the hype, there's no pretending this is a street brawl, no hyping up a knockout that may never happen. This is high-level problem-solving in real time, and every decision has consequences. I find myself nodding when he calls it a chess match, Because that's exactly what it is, just with egos in play. Shakur's approach is all about controlled offense, making you miss, quietly embarrassing you, and steadily accumulating rounds while you're still hunting for your rhythm. Teoimo, on the other hand, is dangerous because he can box at a high level, but he picks the moments to strike. When he's locked in, small openings become major turning points almost instantly. Wade's note about Te'ao having already faced defeat, while Shakur hasn't, is crucial, but it's not a judgment, it's perspective. It means Shakur has to answer questions Te'ao already solved, and Te'ao has to prove he's ironed out his past inconsistencies when it really matters. I love how Wade frames this as boxing returning to its roots. Best versus best, no safety nets, no padding the legacy. This isn't about who can talk better or sell a fight more convincingly. It's about who can actually impose their style under pressure. This fight isn't comfortable, it's clarifying. And when analysts move from predicting outcomes to simply saying, let's watch, that's when you know you're witnessing something genuine.
Between Shakur and Tio, because they're both very technical. Both guys understand the sweet science and fight very smart. No one takes a ton of risks. Tio does have a bit more pop in his shots and can put you down, but if you take the risk of making a massive mistake versus a guy like Shakur, then Shakur will outbox you, outclass you, and take you into deep water. So we'll see. Stylistically, we'll see how this thing goes, because I don't see a super over-aggressive Teofimo Lopez. I don't see that. I don't see Shakur getting too out of pocket with him either, but we will have, I think, a very, very high-skill, high-level boxing match.
I'll be honest. I'm gonna be real honest. He was a lot better.
Right after Wade breaks it down with the calm precision of a strategist, the energy shifts the moment Lonnie B steps in. Suddenly, we're no longer in theory mode, we're feeling it. You can hear it in his tone. This isn't just analyst hype, it's the excitement of someone who's been in the gym with these fighters. That perspective is gold. When someone who's worked pads with Te'ao and seen Shakur up close calls this matchup an atomic bomb, you pay attention. Lonnie B isn't guessing, he's reacting to what he's experienced firsthand. His take on Te'ao's explosiveness is both funny and terrifying. You think you know what raw power looks like, then suddenly you're switching gloves mid-session, trying to process what just happened. And Shakur? Lonnie describes him like a nearly unsolvable problem. So precise, so sharp, that most people don't even realize what they are witnessing in real time. The Roy Jones comparison fits perfectly. History treats fighters like this differently. When someone makes elite-level athletes look ordinary, fans ask, who has he really faced? Instead of recognizing something truly rare. Lonnie basically frames it as Shakur's dilemma. He's simply too good, and that's a wild problem to have.
Shakur is phenomenal. I mean, he's just phenomenal, excellent boxer. That like reflexes, sharpshooter, knows what he's doing in there. Great ring generalship. Know when to use his jab. I mean, Shakur is he's so good that it might be to a default. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. You got somebody like Roy Jones, who was so good that he ain't fighting nobody. These guys are number ones. And it's just that he's so good, he make these guys look like nobody. So they say, oh, well, he ain't fought nobody. How come he just can't be that good?
What really makes this breakdown stand out is how he highlights the danger on both sides without exaggerating or playing favorites. He doesn't pretend Shakur is untouchable. He plainly points out there are punches Shakur simply can't afford to take against Te'ao. That's not criticism, it's reality. Te'ao isn't a fighter you test lightly. One clean shot, and suddenly his confidence spikes, his traps snap into place, the rhythm shifts, and now your FACI also love the Floyd versus Roy comparison. It sums everything up without disrespect. One bends the rules because he can, the other perfects them until they feel suffocating. That contrast is exactly why this matchup feels electric. Lonnie B isn't hyping some boring chess match or a reckless slugfest. He's framing it as jazz versus jazz, two masters improvising in their own language. That if Shakur doesn't undermine Te'ao's confidence early, trouble builds fast. If Te'ao can't disrupt Shakur's composure, he's stuck chasing shadows for 12 rounds. That's the tension. That's the artistry. This isn't about who looks flashiest in the highlights, it's about who can stay true to themselves when forced out of their comfort zone. And when someone who's seen both camps calls it a classic, that's not hype. That's a warning.
But Tio, he's one of those guys, once he once he touched some skin, that get him going, get him warmed up. Like, okay, he gets more brave. Like, okay, the wheels start going. Oh, I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. I can do that. And you can see him putting the
when he's in the zone, it's almost impossible to stop it because he's tapping his back of his heel and he's setting up different traps and his confidence is like the key factor of his fight, right?
There we go.
If his confidence is here, you can almost kiss the fight goodbye. So Shakur has to rip his confidence from the second the fight starts and keep it that way, because if not,
there we go. He got to keep that gas.
When you put all of this together, it stops being about who talks the loudest and starts being about whose identity holds up under pressure. Teroimo Lopez is sharpening his confidence, structuring chaos, and convincing himself that every moment belongs to him. On the other side, Shakur Stevenson is fine-tuning control, trusting the process, and letting patience dictate the pace. Then you layer in Shane mostly reminding us this fight is a test of will, Wade Plemons framing it as boxing finally getting it right, and Lonnie B giving us a peek at what these guys are actually like in the gym. Different perspectives, same conclusion. This fight is anything but safe, comfortable, or predictable. It's a clash of philosophies. Will disruption break discipline, or will discipline crush disruption? That's what the ring will decide. No narratives, no excuses, just 12 rounds where styles aren't just tested, they're exposed. This is one of those rare fights that doesn't just crown a winner, it shows who you really are when your best version is standing right in front of you. Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's break it down. And as always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives.